Halito. Adanolehi. My family. Halito, all of my brothers and my sisters. If you are up on this grand rising, I want to share a message with you. Don't let up and don't give up on the dig. Dig and research your history, your ancestry. There's so much information waiting in the balance, waiting to be dug up. Starting with your family, your closest relatives that are still alive. Start asking them information about tradition, counties, states that your past ancestors lived, that your family members lived. And also, I apologize for the noise. I'll let the car go by. Ask about land, property that was owned, stores that were owned. Look at, there's so many different family searches out there, so you can look through the National Archives and it will give you actually a list of free websites to research your history. Stay in those libraries so you can find the information that is needed, because you'll be surprised that there's land out there that belongs to you and your family. And if there's not any land that's available for you at this moment, at least during the dig you will find out exactly who you are, what your family and ancestors, your ancient ones, owned, and what their trades were at the time. You will find out a lot of the sharecroppers and planters owned their land. Okay, we had the colonizers was working on our lands. Well, we were working on our own lands, and they were utilizing our lands. We taught them how to plant and harvest, fruits and vegetables. Why is it such that we were working our own fields, our own lands? Why isn't it that they did not work their own lands and work our lands and work the fields? And even once they did take over a lot of our lands, we were still working the lands. Why is it that they weren't out in the sun working the lands? There's a big reason why. You don't even know who you are. You are the mighty Aboriginal, the mighty African, quote-unquote, American, the mighty Indigenous American, the mighty Aborigine of America. because you have the mighty melanin. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. I want to read some things to you. You know me, I love researching, and I like to curl up in a good book. And I'm reading from a book called The Puzzle of Ancient Man. And it's by Donald E. Chittick. I think that's how I don't know if I'm pronouncing the words right. But it's Advanced Technology in Past Civilizations, and it's got a question mark. Now, you know, through your readings, you have to learn how to decipher. It depends on what level of research and understanding that you have to decipher books. A lot of these books are written by Caucasians, so, you know, you do have to know how to decipher the book. Okay, I want to start with while it is true that there is much variation within the race, the fact remains that lighter skin characteristics are generally associated with people dwelling in a cooler climate such as Northern Europe. Darker skinned people generally are native to geographical areas with hotter and sunnier climates, which is indigenous, which is Aboriginal. Why is this so? An explanation is readily obtained by using the biblical picture we have been discussing earlier in the book. Suppose that people who migrated out of the Middle East after the confusion of language at the Tower of Babel were of middle brown skin color. And we know that Babel is here, okay? So that's why I was saying if you read a book, you need to decipher what is what and where is where, okay? So in hot areas with intense sunlight, people tend to wear fewer clothes because of heat, thus exposing their skin to intense rays from the sun. Exposure to sunlight results not only in the reproduction in the skin of vitamin D, a necessary item for healthy bones, but also in destructive photolysis of other vital substances such as folic acid. Loss of folic acid greatly reduces fertility. So let's get to that. The most fertile people are our Aboriginal people right here in America. Us of melanated skin, our so-called African American, our indigenous American, us. We are very fertile. And sometimes you wonder why all the mixed racing, the mixture of races is going on. It seems like it's it's more than ever. It's not like just the physical attraction, you know, and a lot of these women are you know, like the Kardashians and different, are having the babies as if, you know, at one point, you know, white men were not impregnating their women and could not impregnate their women, but our fertile indigenous men, we know what they can do. Okay, you know, drop of the sperm, it happens in our women. We're very fertile. So loss of folic acid greatly reduces fertility. And I do remember, when I was pregnant, they was big on this. Oh, folic acid, the prenatal vitamins. They were, the doctors were handing out, and they would have a whole list of different vitamins and what cereals contain folic acid, like Captain Crunch and different things like that. So also excessive sunlight penetrating the skin results in skin cancer. So they naturally would have themselves working out on the plantation, because they already knew that when they came to the New World, they came to America, when they came here, that the sun, it is stated that it was the most beautiful sight they had ever seen. It was flourished with plants and trees and flowers and different animals and just a vegetation of life, because they had a barren land. And that's why you need to read books like Prince Maximilian and, I apologize for the noise. Prince Maximilian, the book describes, how much vegetation it was and what he was collecting to, for proof that this land was full of an abundance of life. Okay, and you wouldn't want to live in a desert. Of course, you would want to live somewhere that was vital to your own spirit of living. Thus, shows you that, they could not stay in the sun. Caucasians, white people, their skin cannot take it because of cancer. That's the biggest thing, now, they wear the sunscreens and whatnot because they don't have the melanin in their skin. So therefore, we were out working in our own fields, they would bring the seeds and whatnot, and we were out working in the fields, be it cotton, watermelon, tobacco, or whatnot. And then, of course, they've taken over. However, they were very wise to knowing that they could not tolerate the sun. The sun is their enemy. The sun is our friend. The sun is us. So therefore, dark skin with high pigmentation filters out much of the harmful rays from excessive sunlight. So anytime you see a copper-colored brother, sister, melanated brother, sister, and Aboriginal Indigenous brother or sister walking around, we flourish in the earth. We're protecting the earth. And just to stand by, it's very important to have us around. So why are you killing us all? You can't even survive and live here. You're dying off here, and it's actually damaging your skin. And trust me, even when it's cold outside and there's snow right here in America, in our land, the sun is still there. Even through the clouds, it's still there. So it's dangerous for their skin and their way of just living a healthy life to be exposed to the sun. And us standing next to them actually filters out much of the harmful rays of the excessive sunlight. So dark skin allows just sufficient sunlight to enter the skin to synthesize enough vitamin D so the body remains healthy. So our skin, melanated skin, as Indigenous, Aboriginal Indians here in America, we synthesize enough vitamin D so that the body remains healthy. So that itself tells you, go drink up the sun, get your vitamin D, and it also tells you that we absorb that vitamin. But the Caucasian cannot. Therefore, he's drinking the milk with vitamin D, or he's taking supplements. It's all for his skin, because when he comes out, he cannot work outdoors. He cannot endure being outdoors. It's just not his nature. It's just not his nature. So it says light skin, on the other hand, allows excessive amounts of energetic rays from the sun to penetrate the skin, producing harmful effects. These harmful effects result in a greatly lower fertility rate. That's self-explanatory when I read that sentence. People with light skin simply produce a few children, while people with dark skin retain high fertility. The net result would be that in a few generations, only people with darker skin would be present in the population in areas with much sunlight. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you possess as the melanated people, as the Aboriginal and Indigenous people. You don't even know who you are. When are you going to wake up and know who you are? And why we are hated, disliked, shot down on the street. Our Aboriginal brothers and sisters are being killed and wiped out. Why are we disliked so much? I'm telling you why now. Because you are the mighty Aboriginal. We are the mighty Aboriginal. We are the mighty Indigenous Nijis. We are the mighty Indigenous Aboriginal African American, quote unquote, so-called African American. African Americans are not African. However, why are you upset to get us off of this land? This is our land, because we've always been here. And you worked us here. You didn't. The slave trade was told in reverse. You know, you went and took the time out to tell a big farce of a lie. You took us and you took us over there. However, you didn't bring us from over there. We are the origines here. You worked the people that was already here on our land. We were working our lands already. We were eating. We thought that we never ate before your so-called invasion. We were eating. We were planting. Okay? We were harvesting. We were creating, because the Creator brings creation into our life, into our hands, into our minds. We were already here. So, the lowered rate of melanin within the Caucasians, they need the vitamin D in their skin, and they try to keep covered with clothing all the time to protect their skin, because lower vitamin D results in diseases known as rickets and other problems, and of course, like I stated before, lower fertility rates. And light skin, in contrast, even with minimal surfaces exposed, it would be able to produce sufficient, like vitamin C, like vitamin D in the body, if they're all covered up in a cooler atmosphere. It's raining out here. in a cooler atmosphere, to bring that warmth, they would have to wear a lot of clothing over their bodies to stay healthy. So they have to block that sun, They have to block that sun. And they use a shield of the clothing to protect their skin. But they can absorb that, they can absorb that heat, If you ever go to gym and you wonder, wow, you go in the sauna, right? And it's dark in the sauna. And it's never light in there. It's like a cave, but it's a lot of heat. It's a lot of heat in that sauna. And you sweating out impurities and whatnot. But there's just enough light in there. And it is healthy for your skin. Okay. However, prolonged use is damaging. But it's amazing. I go in and I can't stay in there that long. But then there's some of my associates that I know, they can stay in there. They're Caucasian and they can stay in there for a long time. And me, I can sun gaze forever. I mean, I stay in the sun outdoors, just boom, direct sunlight on my face, on my skin, just absorbing it. Man, it just regenerates my spirit. Actually gives me some energy. But that is not the case. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to come back later. You already dressed out?
Yeah, I got to go.
Oh, babe. Have a good day.
You go get some water.
Okay, I'm coming. That's my husband. I was going to wait, but... Morning. Grab some water. Anything else you want me to take upstairs?
Yeah, no, these, I don't know.
Apples?
Probably.
Okay.
Alright, see.
All right, have a good day. Drive careful. Alito. Husband going off to work right now, and I'm in the middle of my video, so I apologize. If I can edit this, I would, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to continue on. Take a sip here. Halito. So I'm going on 23. How many minutes have I been on here? Yeah, 24 minutes. You are the mighty Aboriginal American. The mighty Indigenous American. Puts me in the frame of mind of superheroes. It's like, melanin comes to save the day. Because we take in the sun and it empowers our skin. It empowers our spirit. We absorb the vitamin D from the sun. We can stand that. And us being on this earth, we're helping them survive. What's the urgency in killing us off? Killing our brothers and our sisters out in the street. That's a true hate. A true envy. Because we are the Aborigines. We are the original people. Of America. We are the Indian. But see, you're not going to know that if you're not studying and you're not researching your own history. You're not going to know that if you're not reading and you're not researching. You're not going to know that if you have a closed mind because you've been indoctrinated. I understand and overstand what you're going through. How you say, how could it be possible that the school teacher lied to me? The school teacher still lying to you. And the only time they're going to come to a light is them studying and researching themselves. But most of them know already. They know, but their mouth and their lips are sealed. They're not going to share that information. They're only going to follow the curriculum which has been given to them. I had stated in a past video that, I know many educators, and I knew an educator that came from Argentina, and he told me, I know who you are. He said, I know that you are the Aboriginal, you are the indigenous people. He told me. But he also stated that, when he goes to different seminars or different lectures or different required meetings at the school, within the school district, that they are taught and told, what to teach and what not to teach and what is appropriate teaching behavior. My thing is, I'm challenging your indigenous IQ, okay? Your family IQ, your heritage IQ. You need to get that up. You need to get that up. You need to be up at least to a 4.0, okay? What is your indigenous? What is your Aboriginal? What is your so-called African American? Because the African Americans are not African. What is your IQ? What is your IQ? What are you doing to raise your score for your own mentality to pass down from generation to generation? Because your legacy starts now. It's right now within your own family, within your own household. Because you got little bitty children. They're walking around not even knowing who they are because you got your mouth closed and because you're not even trying to study. All you're doing is looking about what master taught you and what the slaveholders and what the so-called Lord, the Lord, like Lord Farquaad. Did you ever watch any of these cartoons? Look at Lord Farquaad. And you're calling the Lord, you're thinking that that's some godly figure that you're worshiping. Oh, Lord, no, you're still worshiping the lords that enslaved our people, some of our people. You're still worshiping the Lord that had our people, some of our people, in servitude. Because all of us weren't slaves, and not all of us were not in servitude. But you're still worshiping them. You're like, oh Lord, oh Lord. Every time you call upon that, oh Lord, you're thinking that it's something heavenly that's going to come down from the sky and come and get you and help you and save you. You need to change your words. Even me have to study the etymology of words, and you have to understand the meaning of what you're saying. But no, you look at words and you say, hey, I don't know the history behind that word, but I'm going to continue to use that. But we got to get deep into our study. You got to be in the know. You got to have the action behind it. You got to stop brushing off things like it don't matter. That is unimportant. So you don't think it's important why we're getting killed out in the street? Why our lands are still being taken from us? Why you have not built yourself into where you think you should be going. Why are you struggling? Why are you struggling? Oh, you look at you look at our brothers on the street. Sometimes hanging out. You would, look at that person. They got a sign up saying, I'll work for food or any donation. Or a lot of the homeless have mental issues. They do. That's a mental thing that they're going through. However, you have a lot of veterans out there too, that are out there. A lot of homeless women that have been battered and beaten from domestic violence are out there as well. But a lot of our brothers and our sisters that's out there, they're not out there by choice. They have nowhere else to go. A lot of them have lost their jobs. I've spoken with the homeless. When I was a security officer, I watched a brother take a mint condition, it was a McDonald's hamburger, and took it out of the trash. And there was a regulation with the company that I was working for that homeless people could not eat from the trash. Okay, we had to mandate trash cans, mandating the garbage. Can you believe that? Someone homeless come in and they found something. It's already bad enough they're digging in the trash to eat food, but they go up there. I'm supposed to mandate and let them know, hey, give them the speech. You're here on our property, and there's, you're not allowed to go through our trash cans to eat the food, even though you're hungry. Why do we have hungry? Why are we struggling out here? Why? Because our land has been taken. We've been put back so far back that now we are on the climb of finding out who we are to get back what is ours. Okay, we know what happened there, but you know what you need to do? You need to really understand what happened. So that when you go into your records and you start digging for your land and digging for your past, that you might find that jewel. You might find that land. You might find something that can help you for your future. And then with the 2020 census coming up, you need to be marking the mark, who you are. You're not African American. You're an Aboriginal to these lands. You're an indigenous Indian to these lands. This is your land. You are home. If you want to go to Africa, go ahead and go to Africa. If you have treasure your roots and a physical relative and you've been going to family reunions to Africa, Nigeria, or Cameroon, or wherever you've been going, then so be it. Then that's you. Kudos to you. However, I'm talking about the Nijis. I'm talking about the indigenous. I'm talking about the so-called African American. I'm talking about the Aboriginal, the Origines here in America. I'm talking about you, my brother and sister, my copper-colored family. You need to know who you are. You need to stick with that. You need to be digging. Don't let life take you over that you're not thinking. You're not thinking straight. You're distracted with football games, basketball games, soccer games, a television series. It's okay to indulge and do that, and relax and go on your, and vacay. Sometimes that's a vacay for people too, watching television. It's like entertainment. But it's a lot of entertainment that's going on that is not necessary. Are you doing more entertaining yourself than you are doing research? Question yourself. I challenge you to know thyself. I challenge you to research yourself, and I challenge you to teach your children and let them know who they are. Okay? African Americans are not African. This is our land. You are the mighty Aborigines. You are the mighty Indigenous. You are the mighty so-called African American that we have been reclassified, colonized. But it's time to undo all of that. It's time to undo all of that, because you know the truth now, or you're seeking the truth. no excuses, people. None. I hold you accountable. I do. Especially if you're watching this video. So you can see now, it's not even healthy for Caucasians, for white people to even be. I don't even like using the word white, but Caucasoids, for them to be in the sun. And let me tell you, I don't have any problem with telling the truth of who you are. So if you're getting offended you're watching this video and I'm referring to so-called white people as Caucasians or Caucasoids, then you need to study your history. And it's amazing because some people get offended, but then they don't get offended when they hear the word nigger or when they hear the word, when they're calling us all types of profanities and disgraceful words when we are the true people of this indigenous land. See, the thing is, they don't want you to rise up and find out who you are. Okay, you think about in Fiji, they're called them Fijians. You know, my daughter was there, and they look like us. You know, so why are you calling us African Americans when we are the Aboriginal Americans here? We're not from Africa. And why is it that other pan Africans and all these different Moors are calling us African and we're not African? And you know who we are, okay? And why is it so many people trying to infiltrate the movement, pretending to tag along, and as if you're with us, but you're not? What do you have against us? I mean, it's like you have people that are bogus, liars, are trying to come on board just to see and be an agent to find out what we're doing. Why do you hate what we're doing? Why do you despise so much after everything that we done been through, that we're trying to find out who we are, and not just find our place, is take our place. Take our place to where we always belong. Why? Why do you have an issue with that? Why do you take so much energy and so much time out of your day and your night to be an agent of a people that was robbed and what was taken from us, stolen from us? And sometimes you may get those looks from Caucasian people, like we're gonna hurt them. You're afraid that we're gonna hurt you, but you hurt us. You damaged us. You killed us. Genocide, paper genocide too. But you holding your purse, like clutching it, like we're gonna do something. We're not doing anything because you know what? This is our purse. This is our land. This is our stuff. I'm standing on it. I'm breathing the air right now. I'm looking at my trees. I'm looking at my land right here. My very existence is disturbing to the Caucasian, to the white man. Your very existence is intimidating, especially now that you know who you are. Intimidated, scared. They're in fear. The nation is rising. because you know of thyself. And you taking action upon it. Feathers up, everyone. Feathers up. Continue to dig. Continue to fight. Know thyself for who you are, because you are the mighty Aboriginal. You are the mighty Indigenous. You are the mighty Indian, the black Indian, the so-called African American. We've always been here. That's who we are. Feathers up. You know, let them know. And my brothers and my sisters, Danole, come out them doors. Come out them doors and absorb that sun. Be seen. Be heard. Be alert. Enjoy and based in the sun. And enjoy our beautiful land, and enjoy. Let the raindrops hit your face. Go to these national parks. Take your children out. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the land. But also reclaim your land. Reclaim your true identity. Based in that, reclaim your true identity. I love you, my brothers and my sisters. I do. Grand rising, feathers up. Fact. Peace to you, brother. Peace to you. I feel good today because I'm home. Now, if I want to go travel, because I am planning a trip, to see my daughter in the Netherlands. And I'm definitely going to do some research when I'm there as well. But I'm home. Other than, a little vacay, maybe go to Hawaii or something like that. That's on my bucket list. But I'm home. It feels so good, it's like the Wizard of Oz, that show, and she did the clicks. She clicked her little heels, and she said, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." What? Have you clicked your heels lately? No, rub them feathers together. Have you done that? Because you are home. Because there's no place like home. You are home. You're already here. So when next time you're standing in the groceries, in a grocery line, or you're at the doctor's or whatever, you need to look at these Keeblers and look at these Caucasians, like, and these visitors that's coming over here now, taking over. Look at them, exactly what they are. Visitors that have had a long stay. They have outstayed their welcome, and they never was welcome. They was not welcome. They visitors. They visitors. Look at them like visitors, because that's what they are. And that you are home, that this is your land. And feel at peace with that. So when you say peace, feel at peace with that. So next time I say peace out, I'm peace in, because this is my land. I'm home. And I love my brothers and my sisters. And don't think that I don't get emotional when I read and I research, especially when I'm doing my own research on my ancestry and my heritage and my my family, just going back and talking to family members, and just even remember everything that my grandmother told me. I asked her, I'll never forget it. I asked her, I said, Grandma, I said, are we African? I said, if we are African, what part of Africa. She said, we're not African. She told me, we're not African. She said, we're Indian. So I got that from my grandmother and my mother. Okay? So, you have to pull what's within you deep. You know what didn't feel right, what's not right, and what was poured into you that was wrong, and that you knew it just did not settle in with you. Because when you walk every day with yourself consciously in our own fiber, in our own being, in our own DNA, you know who you are. Period. No doubt. And it gets emotional, when you're studying and you're reading and you're finding out, when you start looking at death certificates and things like that. That was really getting me too, finding out, about maybe there was a twin, a great uncle that had a twin, and the twin died, or babies that were stillborn, and it's like you go through a whole story of your family, and you feel like you physically wasn't there, to actually experience the funeral or whatever, but you were there, because through your blood, through your DNA and everything that you share spiritually, those are the great ones. You were there. Those are your ancient ones. You are there. That's why you can feel it, and I evoke that. I evoke that spirit, because I can't do it by myself. The Creator helps me every day, but I cannot do it by myself. I can't go into these studies, without smudging sometimes. I cannot go into my research without, I cannot go throughout the day without smudging sometimes. I can't do it. I have to clear my mind. I have to cleanse myself. I have to meditate or think, or deep thinking, or whatever you got to do to slow yourself down, to process it, and to bring an enlightenment and spirit into your body, to your mind, so you can go forth, so that you can process all of this information that's within you. Your motivation, it might be rage, anger, or whatever. I get to that point at some points when I'm studying, and I'm seeing something that brings me that. But I'm motivated, highly motivated to move forward, because I don't want to leave my children's children behind without nothing, and not knowing who they are and their traditions, And even creating new traditions is very important, So, continue to dig, continue to fight, continue to know who you are, that you are the mighty Aboriginals, the mighty Indigenous, the mighty so-called African Americans, because African Americans are not African. We are not African. Get that out your mind. We are Aboriginal and Indigenous to this land. America. America. Or like my daughter said, America. America. One of my daughters, she said, America. So, Amaruka. Let's do this. Get into your readings. Arnado's on Montana's, the book America, James Adair. It's so many, that I can list. And don't omit going to Google, but don't let Google just be your complete source. Sometimes, if you got a wild hair, go to some of these thrift stores, look through their books. You'll be amazed to find books like For instance, this book right here, the cover coming off of it, it's called Man's Discovery of His Past, Literary Landmarks and Archaeology. I'm not going to show you the name of this book right here. I found at least, 15 to 20 books more of a reader that he marked and labeled all his books, but I did look up his name on Facebook, and he did pass away. So I looked at the man, and the man was a Caucasian man. He was a Caucasian man, and this is one of his books as well. So what I'm saying is that you don't know who you are, but they know who you are. And I know who you are. You're the mighty Aboriginal of America. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Prove it to me. Continue your research. Continue your dig. Love thyself. Love thy family. Know thyself. Peace, love, and bear grease. And you know what? I am going to do a video about hair, because I did notice a couple of brothers going in on women that are wearing different hair extensions, and I didn't want to entertain that, that topic, because I change my hair constantly, and I've actually had a comment. Someone said, you are not indigenous, you are not Native American, which I know, I'm not Native American, but I know what they were trying, the gist of what they were trying to say. They got this notion about hair. I think I'm just going to go into it a little bit. All right, the way hair is into your scalp, if you look at a book, I want you to take the time to look at hair, how it is embedded into your scalp. When it's down in with the follicle, it has a twist, okay? It has a small twist, or sometimes it's just straight. So if it's curved, however the intensity of how it is curved inside of your scalp, that would determine if you're going to have straight hair or curly hair. Okay? Now, curly hair. I have very curly hair. So when you see the so-called labeled Afro hair is just simply the way they entitled it Afro hair. It's just curly hair. It is no such thing as freaking Afro hair. Okay? That terminology should not even be in the books. But it is, because when you see a Caucasian with curly hair, curls of locks, they excuse it. I got this from my dad's side, and we got this in our blood, and we got this and this and this and that, and that's the reason why I got this curly hair. And I can't stand my curls, and I want to get these curls out of my hair. Let's talk about curls. Us indigenous people, most of us have curly hair. And we've got very tight curls. We can have a tight curl pattern, a loose curl pattern. Now, the growth of our hair, let's talk about that. When you have curly hair, the so-called kinky hair, the so-called Afro hair, well, the longer it gets, the more it stretches out. And the more weight that is upon it, it will get longer and it will stretch out, okay? And that's why you'll get little ringlets or tight little ringlets. If you look into your sink, my Aboriginal brothers, my indigenous brothers, if you look into your sink when you are cutting your hair or shaving your hair, it will be a curl, like a C or S. Or you'll just see you'll see a spiral curl. All right. Look at that pattern. That is your curl pattern. You have curly hair. That is not a determining factor whether you are Aborigine or not. It's not a determining factor because people say, "Oh, you're not Aboriginal. You're not because you don't have no straight hair." No, that does not make you not. Okay. All right, so get that out of your mind. Get that out of your mind. And if your hair is straight, you don't know if a person has straightened their hair. You don't know how long. Why is that all mattering to you? Why? Lay off of our women, okay? Lay off of them about their hair, right? Because the knowledge, always is blocking the knowledge that you absorbing from your hair. Okay, we know everything's indigenous, but guys are wearing caps on their head. All right, you're using toothpaste. We all adorn ourselves with different things. I mean, whether it's feathers. I mean, we use feathers to elongate our hair, elongate ourselves. When the Europeans brought horses over, we were using their hair as an adornment. We're some creative people because the Creator has given that. We're not no bland, boring-looking people. We have rhythm. We have taste. We know how to season our food. We are not like any other people in this world. Why are you going hard in on women that is wearing adornment on their heads? It's like saying, well, take off your chiefness or take off your chiefhood. Stay off it. What does that have to do with you knowing knowledge? It doesn't. It's a distraction. That's what it is. You got a mentality that the Tonto Indians that were portrayed in these movies with the Long Ranger or whatnot, that those are the true. Those are not the true. We know who the Mongoloids are. However, why are you going deep in on our culture? Why are you going deep in on our creativity? All right. So if a woman want to adorn herself and put that in her hair, let her put. What does it matter to you? Whether she twist her hair naturally or she don't twist it. And half of you brothers don't even know that the women are getting implants in their hair. You don't even know what's real or not. And that moves just like real hair. You got men that get implants, and I'm not talking about extensions. I'm not talking about installs. I'm talking about true implants in their scalp. That the hair is not going anywhere. That they can move the scalp and part it, and you can see that. And what about scalping? Yeah. Indian scouts took scalps, and you got the white Caucasians that were scalping us and taking scalps as well. Why? To prove that they really killed a chief or killed an Indian, to prove that this was the real true Indian, to make sure that the hair was in a so-called quote-unquote Afro hair. Okay, that's the hair that they were taking. They were taking the shaving hair off of us, making freaking chairs out of it, in the 18th and 17th century. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So hair, okay, don't worship that mentality and that thought process of a sister not being in the know and know herself. I don't even like using the word conscious, but conscious of herself. Stay off of her. Get off of her back. Get off of her back. Everyone has different levels of the teachings. Everyone has different levels of research. Let people take their own baby steps on knowing who they are. You are trying to distract them with coming at them about their hair. Now, I've watched a couple of sisters that's, they coming into the know of who they are and their heritage and everything. Here you are, you troll, you agent, talking about her hair. Get off of it. Get off of it. Because we were using bear grease, and bear grease was heavy, and it's got a potent smell to it, and it stretches out the hair. and it stretches out the hair and it gives it a shine. It keeps it from breaking. We adorn ourselves. That's something that we do. We do that to this day, because I know not a lot of y'all not walking around funky, not taking no doggone soap baths, or not getting into some water, doing something. That's still an adornment, keeping yourself cleansed and healthy. Okay? All right? Some of y'all probably taking a smoke of weed, or I don't know what you're doing, whatever you're about to heal yourself, to clear your mind and your mentality or whatever. Some of y'all popping an aspirin or whatever. Some of y'all are maybe doing some echinacea. You got the real true echinacea. You grinding things on your with your stones, and you grinding your herbs, and you making yourself wellness. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. It's all in our nature. It's what we do. Stop coming hard on these sisters. Stop. It's just nonsense. It needs to stop. It's a distraction. All right? Actually, who cares? If they want to wear freaking long lashes that are rippling and hitting the top of their head, let them do that. Let them feather up and let them do what they do. That's not stopping their knowledge. They know who they are. Okay? And the sisters that are coming to the light, that know who they are, leave them alone. Stop talking about their doggone hair. It don't freaking matter. You don't even understand how long this has been out. We've been doing this for years. Adorn ourselves with leaves, everything. Things that we put on our head. I didn't even want to get into that topic, but I just had to. I just had to. You wear your hat, I wear my hat. Okay, all right. I got off that. I'm gonna get off that. So I love you, my brothers and my sisters. I'm just saying, don't be distracted. Okay, there's so many things that's out here that can distract us into what we need to be digging and doing. Okay, with the 2020 census coming up, not to mention all the jewels that you're gonna find within your own history, your own family, your own ancestry. You're going to be digging and find out so many things about your family. Okay, you need to be writing all this down, documenting, because you need to be proving who you are. And you don't need to be just proving it to others. You prove it to yourself. Most of us are unrecognized Indians, okay? Most of us, our family members chose not to be recognized because they seen things that were happening that they didn't want to leave, uproot themselves, okay? And if you are on the census and you go into any type of Dodge rolls or Choctaw rolls, or or if you find a family member, because I found several, and I'm going to follow up on it. The instructions is that you write down the information of what their roll number is and whatnot. Then you need to go and find them in the census. Okay, if you find them in the census, you also can contact the the Cherokee Nation, or whatever nation that they belong to, could be Chickasaw or whatnot. And you need to do your research from that. And it has a list of instructions of what to do if you go on the National Archives, site. So it gives you just have to take your time, because it's a wealth of information there, and it can be so confusing, or you can be overwhelmed. You have to slow yourself down. I would say do it on a day that you feel relaxed and you're in that true reading mode, and you got minimum distractions. Maybe you can have a herbal tea, or Have everything right there with you, kind of relax, make sure your air conditioner is blowing, or you sitting by the pool, I don't know, beach or whatever, just be relaxed, have your mind open, because when your mind is open, it's open to absorb more information and retain it, and then also have your pad and your pencil or your pen to write that down. I even take verbal notes. I'll get on my phone and I'll do a note to myself. And sometimes if I don't have a notepad or pencil, I will actually text it to myself or text it to, a daughter or whatever. I use all means to communicate and to documentate, my research and my study. But it's no excuse for you not knowing who you are or not, doing the research yourself. And because only you can do it, no one else going to do it for you. Trust me, there's a lot of closed mouth family members. They know who you are. They know that you are Aboriginal and Indigenous to these lands. They know probably what tribe you are or nation that you are in. They know what clan. They know everything. Or band. They know it, but they don't want to share it because you got a lot of people that are not on Team Nation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not on Team Nation. They're not with you. They don't want you to know. They're still trying to keep you buried and covered up. So that's why I say do your own research, because you knowing is better than any else knowing for you. So take all these tidbits and these jewels that everyone is dropping along the way. You got Phoenix Moon. You got Buck, Carrie. You got, is it... 1000, what's his name? Oh God, I cannot think of it. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube or Facebook or just on different sites or even Googling different things about us, those names are gonna pop up. You're gonna know. So you need to just be all over it. You understand me? You need to be all over it. It's just too much information out here. So, big ups to everyone that drops a video every day. They have webcasts, or because I'm on board with you. I'm on team no. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Team Nation. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse, man. It's too much. It's a wealth of knowledge out here that can help you advance where you want to go. Even information about your birth certificate. How to look at that. I mean, all the Black Law Dictionary. It's so much information, man. You kind of will explode like a grape if you allow yourself to. But you got to take a break, because sometimes, like when you overeat, you feel like you got to stop for a little while. Temporary, let it digest. You got to do that too. So I'm encouraging you to allow your information to digest, to process within your own mind, your own mentality. Okay, you got to do that, because if you don't process it right, then you're gonna be doing things all over again and retracting yourself. So you don't want to be doing that. So feathers up, feathers up, all my brothers and my sisters. Feathers up, because we are the mighty Aboriginals. We are the mighty Indigenous. We are the mighty so-called African Americans. And we know that African Americans ain't African. We know who we are. We are the true Indians. We are the true. Even though they gave us some crazy name, but we know who we are. We are the people that was always here, still here to this day. Don't it feel good? You home? There's no place like home. Peace and love.